So think about this for a second. In our digital world, how do we really prove we are who we say we are? It sounds simple, right? But that question is at the very heart of what we call electronic identity. This entire explainer is based on the work of Professor Vihar Kiskinov, and together we're going to break down everything from the fundamental laws that build trust online all the way to the digital wallet that's probably coming to your phone sooner than you think. All right, so here's our game plan. First up, we're going to talk about why trust is the absolute foundation of our digital world. Then we'll get crystal clear on what digital identity actually means. After that, we'll walk through the official process for getting one, see how the system is designed to protect your privacy, and finally, we'll look ahead to the European digital wallet and what that future is going to look like. Okay, let's start at the beginning. The big question. Why does any of this even matter? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Almost every single meaningful thing we do online, whether it's banking or even voting, it's all built on a foundation of trust. And that trust, it has to start with knowing who you're dealing with a reliable identity. Just think about the services you probably use every day. Accessing government websites, doing your banking online, talking to a doctor through telemedicine, or maybe even casting a secure vote online someday. None of these things, absolutely none, can work safely without a rock-solid way to verify who you are. It's not an exaggeration to say it's the bedrock of our digital society. Now, this whole system doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's actually built on a really solid legal framework. You've got the eIDAS 2.0 regulation at the European level, which kind of sets the standard for all member states. And then that gets implemented at the national level. In Bulgaria, for example, it's the Electronic Identification Act. You can think of these laws as the official rules of the road for our digital lives. Okay, so we've got the legal foundation down. Now, let's get into the specifics and define our terms. When people throw around the phrase digital identity, what are we actually talking about? You can think of your electronic identity as, well, your digital self. It's the collection of all that data. Your name, your date of birth, your citizenship, all of it in a digital form. And when you put it all together, it points to one and only one person, you. All right, but then there's electronic identification, and that's the action. It's the process of actually taking that electronic identity data of yours and using it for something, like logging into a service, signing a document, or proving your age. It's how you use your digital self. So here's the crucial takeaway, the main distinction you need to remember. Identity is the what. It's the noun, right? It's the set of attributes about you. Identification, on the other hand, is the how. It's the verb, the process of you presenting those attributes to prove who you are. So one is the data, and the other is the action of using that data. And this distinction leads us to a really core principle of this whole new framework, something called data minimization. You know how it used to be. You'd have to show your entire ID card with all your info on it just to prove you're over 18. Well, the new system allows for what's called selective disclosure. You can prove you're an adult by sharing just one verified piece of information without ever revealing your actual birthday. And that, right there, is a fundamental shift for our privacy. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how does this digital identity actually become, well, official? That's what brings us to our third section, the formal, step-by-step process of creating a state-backed electronic identity certificate. As you'd expect, the process is pretty rigorous, and it really should be. As it's laid out in the Electronic Identification Act, you have to apply in person. You show up, present a valid government ID, and then a certificate is issued. This certificate has a 5-year validity, it's entered into an official state register, and then the electronic media, which is just the thing that carries your identity, is handed directly to you. And this is where the abstract concept becomes a physical thing you can hold. Starting in June 2024, the new Bulgarian ID cards actually have a built-in chip. And that chip is the physical carrier, it's that electronic media we were just talking about, that securely holds your official electronic identity certificate. So, okay, we have our official identity right there on a chip. But that brings up a huge question. How is this information used across all these different government systems without creating a total privacy nightmare? Well, this is where identifiers come into play. The system uses a really clever tool called sectoral electronic identifiers. The idea is, instead of using your one, single, master identifier everywhere you go, the system creates unique, cryptographically transformed versions of it for different government sectors. So you'll have one for healthcare, a totally different one for the tax authority, and so on. And the purpose here is simple, but it's also really profound. It's all about privacy. Because these identifiers are unique to each sector, and because the transformation is a one-way street, you can't reverse it, it stops different departments from just easily linking up all your activities. It means your health records can't be automatically tied to your tax filings, for instance. This gives you a much, much higher level of personal data protection. And all of this brings us to our final section. And honestly, it's a huge one. We're talking about a fundamental shift, a move from a system that's centered on the state to one that is centered completely on you. And this is all thanks to the upcoming European digital wallet. Let's look at the old model. It's pretty straightforward, right? The government is at the center of everything. It issues you a single, static document, your ID card. And anytime you need to prove something, you have to present that entire card. The state controls the document and, by extension, all the data on it. But the new model, it flips this whole thing on its head. Now you are at the center. You're the one holding a digital wallet on your phone, and that wallet contains all these separate, verifiable attributes, your driver's license, your university diploma, maybe even medical prescriptions. And when a service needs proof of something, you get to choose to share only the specific piece of information they need. So instead of handing over your entire physical wallet just to prove you're over 21, you can now just present a single digitally verified fact that says, yep, age is confirmed over 21. The point is, you are in control. And this European digital identity wallet is going to be incredibly powerful. It'll let you securely identify yourself, both online and offline. You'll be able to store and share official documents like your driver's license or diplomas with just a tap. And get this, you'll even be able to create what's called a qualified electronic signature, which is the digital equivalent of a handwritten signature with the highest possible legal standing, and you can do it for free, all while you maintain complete and total control over your personal data. And listen, this isn't some far-off, distant future we're talking about. The deadline is already set. By 2026, every single EU member state is required to provide a digital identity wallet to its citizens. So yeah, this transformation is literally just around the corner. So as we begin to wrap things up, I just want to mention that the journey we've taken today, from understanding the why to defining the what and looking into the future, it directly follows the logical structure laid out in Professor Kiskinov's own work. Our goal was really to give you that same clear and comprehensive overview. So we want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. This new world of digital identity, it promises two huge things: incredible convenience on one hand, and unprecedented control over your personal data on the other. As you get ready to hold that power in your own digital wallet, the real question becomes, which of those two powerful forces, that seamless convenience or that absolute privacy, is going to be more important to you?